Skip it up and that up.
Oh my god, a Review Tech USA video with real live footage. The world must be ending. Anyway, I'm using the Sony cam for this. What's going on, guys? How you doing? First off, before I get into the main topic of this video, I gotta give a shout out to Dr. Trey, man. They told me about those sales they had on Wii U games, and it's funny, I saw your video yesterday, then I went to Best Buy to get something else, which is the topic of this video, and I forgot, and then I was like, oh shit, they have those games on sale. I actually wanted this from the get-go, Tekken Tag Tournament, the Wii U edition, but I didn't want to spend 59 bucks on it. $19.99, brand new. And another game I was on the fence for, and because it's just not my MO, but it looked good. It's just not my bag, usually not a game I'll play, but I do like the series, just not in love with it. Don't mind the sticker, it says $39.99 Assassin's Creed 3 for the Wii U, brand spanking new, $19.99. So what is the real topic of this video? Well, I got my next-gen console here. I don't have to wait till October or November. I already got it. It's the Asus G75. Son of a bitch, what's the model number on this? G75 OJ gaming laptop. Now, I didn't get this to game on, which sounds like a complete contradiction of the name of the laptop. I got it because I needed something for video editing. Now, I know I'm holding this camera in my hand and people are going to complain it's jiggling, but I just want to explain a story real quick. A buddy of mine, Ryan, he works at Best Buy. I told him, look, I want a powerful laptop. I need to do video editing sometimes on the fly. I'm going to start working at music studios around my area. I need a portable powerhouse. I know you have that gaming laptop, but I don't really need it for gaming. Do you have something else that will fit the bill? And he showed me another Asus. You know, it was like $200 less. And he's like, yeah, this has the quad-core processor. You know, it has a dedicated graphics in it. You can even still game on it, but it's just not meant for gaming. So I got that one. Bring it home. Thing looks sick. Take it out. Do the initial installation on it. And I'm like, wait a second. And then I go to look at the you know, you could look at the rating of it shows the rating of the CPU, the graphics in Windows 8 and Windows 7. I'm like, how is that Haswell quad-core i7 CPU only getting a 7.2? So I go look on the net, and it's my fault. I mean, we both thought it was a quad-core. I go look on the net, it was an i7 dual-core. And 2013, and if you're doing anything like video editing or using Adobe Photoshop, which I am, and I'm using Sony Acid Pro. Next month I'm going to be getting Pro Tools for this as well. You cannot rock a dual core. I know you can, it'll do but no. If you're doing heavy multimedia editing, gotta get the quad core. So I'm like, shit. And then I looked and did the math, and this ended up from that Asus, which was $1,000 for a dual core machine, which at first when I thought it was a quad core, I thought it was a steel, but when I found out it was a dual core, it was kind of a ripoff. This only costed me $198 more for a true i7 quad core and a much better graphics processor. Not even $200 more after tax. So it's like, how can I justify that? But anyway, this is the machine. This is the Asus G75 OJ, I believe. The number, if it's wrong, I'll correct it later. 8 gigabytes of RAM, terabyte hard drive. It has the GeForce GTX 765M, the Haswell Core i7 hyper-threaded quad-core processor. The keyboard's nice, comes with built-in subwoofers, which are absolutely terrible. And gaming on this thing, I tried... I did the Resident Evil 6 benchmark, and I tried BioShock Infinite because I'm lately been obsessed with BioShock Infinite again. And it runs games awesome. Now this benchmark I'm going to show you real quick if you want to see something. Thank God this camera has optical digital stabilization in there, or else you'd be thrown up from shakiness right now. This is weird, man. This benchmark, because it's like, can't even explain it. I did all the settings on high. Okay, there was a couple things that went below 30 frames per second. Then I tried medium. The frames per second didn't change. I didn't get any gain in performance. Then I put all the settings on low. Still didn't get a gain in performance. So there's something either up with, maybe there's a driver issue with the 765M. It needs a driver update, which I checked. I have the newest drivers. Or maybe there's a bug with the the Resident Evil 6 benchmark, but I'll run it anyway. You can take a look at it. This game isn't horrible, by the way. I actually think it's okay. Alright, so let's see. I'll put everything up to high. Might as well. It doesn't make a damn difference. The frames per second stay the same. You get the same damn score at the end. So 1920 by 1080 full screen on. No vertical sync when you're doing a benchmark. Makes no sense. Anti-alias. Yeah, we'll leave that off. High. 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 And let's see. Change graphic settings. Yes. Yes. Oh, I'm hitting shift, not enter. And let's go back. And we'll run a quick little benchmark. It's just weird. Like, you know, you would think turning the anti-aliasing off, and, you know, I had everything maxed out in the beginning, and it did okay. I mean, it's, you know, it's not going to be as good as like my GTX 760 in my desktop, but I didn't expect that. We're at 47 frames per second right now. Still way above 30. It's interesting. It actually seems to be running better today than it was last night. Alright, 34. The more zombies come in. Now, it's weird. This scene here, there's actually a lot of zombies right there, but then it stays above 30. Keep in mind, everything is on high. The only thing off is anti-aliasing. Disappointing thing, as far as I know, Resident Evil 6 for the PC is only DirectX 9. Still a gorgeous game, I'm not going to lie. It's amazing what they did with DirectX 9. See, the frames. You know what, though? It's funny. I got to give this GPU credit. My GTX 670 actually goes around the low 20s at that end scene right there, too. So, this second part of the benchmark, my GTX 670 and my desktop handles a lot better, though. Usually right here, I'd be at like 50, close to 60 frames per second. On this, the Asus laptop, the gaming laptop, I'm at 26 frames per second right now. $25, 26. But again, for something you could put in, I mean, it's a heavy laptop, but for something you could put in a case with you and take anywhere is... I'm just blown away, man. And the price on this thing is really good, too. It's $12.49. And I got the 1-year protection plan on it. We're at 20 frames now. It's starting to chug right now. 19, 20 frames. Probably get about a score of 4,500, which I got the last few times. This benchmark fluctuates a lot too, even on my desktop PC, so it's weird. This is just I think there's an issue with this benchmark. Let's see what it says. This game works at standard level. Such a weird benchmark, man. It constantly, you can't trust this one. I mean, I know benchmarks. That's why a lot of places run like multiple benchmarks. Like they'll run the same benchmark multiple times to get different scores. But yesterday it was telling me this game runs pretty well and I got a gold award, so whatever the case. It's playable. It's definitely playable. BioShock Infinite runs a hell of a lot better. Everything on that is, I'll show you one other thing too. I don't want to run you again. I've run you like 50 times already and you come out back with a different score. Yeah. It's a dumb benchmark test. Like it just looks at the number, it doesn't realize you escaped out of the benchmark and you have a score of 147. So this game is not playable on this machine. Yeah, okay. I'll show you something else that's really cool that I just almost forgot to show you, even though I just spoke about it. GeForce Experience, if you have a NVIDIA card, is awesome. What it does is games that you have, I guess NVIDIA, what they're doing now is they're running all these games and they're seeing what makes the game run optimal. and it actually says, okay, what it'll tell you. It'll automatically change all the. You install the game on Steam or Origin or whatever. You start the game up once, exit, then you go through here, and it'll find all your games. This NVIDIA GeForce experience, and it'll tell you, okay, NVIDIA recommends you run textures on medium, ambient occlusion on low, or you run motion blur on high, and it'll tell you what the optimal settings for your GPU is, whether it's a mobile one or a desktop one. You set it to the optimal settings, and then you start the game through NVIDIA GeForce experience, and the game runs phenomenal. I love this piece of software. If you have go to NVIDIA's website and download it, and it takes all the thinking out of doing settings on games. They're like, hey, you have this chipset, this is the best way to run it, this is where you're going to get the best performance out of it. Anything more than this, you're going to start to the frame rate's going to start to drop. So if you have an NVIDIA card, even if it's, I don't know if it works with the 500 series, I'm assuming it does. If it doesn't, then hey, I'm wrong. I don't have a 500 series NVIDIA card to check it with. Go try it out. It's free software and it's really easy to use. So anyway, guys, this is my laptop. This thing is going to be a workhorse and a half, especially out of the house. I needed something portable, and that's why I got it. All right, man. I'm going to start working on some videos. I'm probably going to start using this next week just to see if it can do the same as my desktop. So I'm probably going to hook this up and have it as my desktop for 1 week just to really run it through the ropes and see what it does. All right, I'm going to shut up now because I'll ramble forever. See ya.